Viewers, I want you to be honest with me. I want you to tell me if your expectation for this 2024 Olympic Games, which is currently being held in Paris, France, is being met. Now, as far as I'm concerned, some crazy stuff are taking place in Paris, France, and I don't know if this can get any much crazier than what we're seeing. But currently, I'm saying it's mind-boggling to say the least. Now, let's talk about Noah Lyles. Right now, the track and field space is split in regards to Noah Lyles and his loss yesterday in the 200-meter finals. Viewers, I must say that the track and field space is currently split because some people are seriously celebrating Noah's loss in the 200 meters where he picked up a bronze. He was beaten by Letsile, Tebogo, and Kenny Benerick. On the other side of things, there are some who are showing sympathy and saying that he did extremely well for his current situation, which we're going to talk about in this video and more. So please don't click off, watch to the end because I'm going to discuss some really interesting things today. So yesterday, after Noah lost that 200-meter final, the word came out that Noah tested positive for COVID-19 prior to running that race 2 days before the race. Now, there are people who are saying that why is it that now is the point in time that Noah is sharing this information after he has lost. Some people are also asking, would he have said this had he won that race? Some interesting questions, people, and of course there are legitimate concerns. So just before the beginning of that 200-meter race, where we had the entrance of the different athletes when they were introduced, when Noah Lyles was introduced, Noah Lyles was trying to be a showman. He was all over the place doing some crazy stuff. He was just running wild before the beginning of that 200-meter race. And some persons were saying that yes, that is good for track and field. That is going to bring some excitement and some exposure. It's going to pique the interest of some who might not have seen it as a prestige sport and something to compare to the bigger sports that are out there. So all of that is good. That's good for the sport. It's good for track and field. But when I zoom in on all of this, I'm saying to you, the viewers, that Noah Lyles was pretty reckless yesterday. Noah Lyles was reckless in more than one way. And I'm going to tell you how. Firstly, Noah said that he tested positive for COVID-19 after not feeling good sometime after he did the 100 meter. Now, in spite of all of that, Noah decided to come out and to run in that 200 meter final. And some are congratulating him and saying that, oh, it's like bravery and he did a great job and all of that kind of stuff. But I'm saying that he was very reckless in those decisions. First of all, if you are feeling that unwell, why is it you would put yourself at so much risk just to come out to prove what? What is it that you're trying to prove? Is it that his ego is so big that he didn't really take into consideration what could happen to him, that he could probably die? It doesn't seem so to me. It seems as if Noah Lyles was so concerned about carrying home the 4 medals that he had made mention of even before going to the Olympic Games. That is probably what was on his mind. And he did not mind taking the risk of probably seriously hurting himself just for getting those medals. I think that was super careless of him. And it doesn't matter what anyone is going to say. They're going to say that he's brave. They're going to say that, oh, he's valiant. But for me, nothing comes before your health. Noah has so many championships left before him that he can still go ahead and bring home multiple medals. But why risk it all for a short moment of the limelight or hype or whatever it is you want to call it? I think that was a very bad decision for himself and those who are managing him. Maybe it came down to his final decision, but I think that was really reckless. When he finished that race, we saw how he went down. He was on the ground and he was almost out of breath. It looked really bad, as if something serious could have come out of that instant. Point number 2 for me. If you have tested positive for COVID-19, which is a critical virus, and for whatever reason you decided that, okay, I'm going to run this race. I'm going to still run in spite of how I'm feeling and all of that kind of stuff. I want somebody to tell me, what was Noah Lyles thinking when he made that kind of grand entrance? He was jumping and prancing and doing all kind of things that left him breathless before running the race. I'm asking this question not just for myself, but some other concerned viewers. If Noah Lyles was so sick, why would he have expended so much of his energy just to put on a little show before the race began? I want you to tell me now if that's not pure carelessness on his part. I don't know, but it just comes across like he's a little bit too proud or he's too driven by this ego that he has, that he's willing to risk everything. People are going to say that kind of attitude is good for the sport. For me, it's not. There's nothing worth putting your health on the line for. I think that is super, super reckless. Right now, I know some persons are celebrating because they are thinking that Noah Lyles is too arrogant. And the way he lost, they felt happy about it. I know a lot of Jamaicans are celebrating. Not just Jamaicans, I know a lot of Caribbean people are celebrating. I know a lot of Africans are celebrating. And as a matter of fact, there are a lot of persons from the United States where Noah is from who are celebrating that loss for him. They think that he's arrogant. They think that he's proud. Remember last year, Noah Lyles take a direct swipe at the NBA championships. Those players are here and it is alleged that they're also taking back swipe at Noah Lyles for losing that 200 meters, which is Noah Lyles' favorite event. And it's alleged that they are super happy that that's the final outcome. With that being said, the 200-meter finals, Letsile Tebogo walked away with the gold, 19:46. Super, super fast time. The fifth fastest time in the history of the 200 meter. It's a national record for Letsile Tebogo. The first gold medal for his country. That's absolutely amazing. Now, the 1946 that Letsile Tebogo ran, I just never saw Noah Lyles beating that 1946. I'm sorry, Noah is a great athlete. He's good. He has the drive, he has the passion, and he normally delivers on his words. But I do not see Noah Lyles beating that time of Letsile Tebogo. And one of the reasons why I said this is that last year when he said that last year when he doubled for the first time, when he planned to take Usain Bolt's record, we saw after the 100 meters, Noah Lyles was never able to come close to his best. What I'm getting from this is that the rounds and the stress of the 100 meters tends to wear Noah Lyles out a bit. Yes, he's still going to run fast, but he's not going to run his best in the 200 meters after doing the 100 meters. I personally think that if he does only the 200 meters, we could see a lot more out of him in the 200 meters. But I just don't think that he's capable of managing both the 100 and 200 meters in terms of running spectacular times in both of these events. I just don't see him managing that well. So I could be wrong, but that's just what I've been noticing from last year. The moment that he decided that he was going to double, I was saying to one of my friends that it's going to be hard for him. We saw how that played out in the World Championships finals, and here we are seeing it again. Yes, he tested positive for COVID-19, and that definitely could have taken away from his performance. But I just don't see him beating that 1946 this year. I'm sorry, but I just don't see him beating that 1946. It was really an extremely great run by the Botswanian, and we just have to big him up for that. Letsile Tebogo did extremely well in spite of the circumstances, losing his mom earlier this year, and it's really, really sad, but here he is making up for it. But at the end of the day, the gold medal is going over there to Africa, and we're happy for that, and we just want to celebrate him some more. He's going to be a serious contender going forward. So right now, Noah Lyles has double trouble. Kishane in the 100 meters. Letsile Tebogo in the 200 meters. And somebody is saying that Noah could go down as one of the greatest 200-meter runners who never had an Olympic gold in the 200 meter. Think about it. Letsile is going to only be stronger from here going forward. The next Olympics, Noah Lyles will be a lot older than he is currently. So there's a possibility that he may never get a gold in his pet event in the 200 meters. Something to think about. But I'm saying that I think Noah Lyles was reckless in making that decision to run. And apart from making the decision to run, that idea of jumping and prancing before the race, it was just crazy. It was just crazy. And that may have driven the final nail into his coffin in that 200-meter race.